There you
What a mash up, bruv.
It's gone, man.
So that's it.
How you been anyway, bro? What you been doing, man?
I was just on Warzone, bro.
I see you on Warzone. All of you lot in there, man.
Bro, it's the thing, man. Trust me, it's the thing. You know what it is? It's the social side of things, because obviously, because man can't link up and that. It's
Yeah.
like you gotta jump on Warzone and have a quick joke and that, and just keep moving.
Bro, put a bit of the vodka in there.
Bro, you know what? I actually will.
Have you finished it yet?
Nah.
What is that, the 1.75 or is that just a normal size?
70 cents.
Okay, it's normal size.
Normal thing, fam. Fuck it, drink
But
it
yeah,
water.
but bro, how you been keeping busy during quarantine apart from playing PS4, Xbox, or whatever?
Chilling, fam, just chilling. You know, I think I dealt with it quite early. I think I was one of the first DJs to get their bookings cancelled. So it kind of hit it from early. I was just like, it kind of sunk in from early, so it's not really bothering me too much, you know, like that.
Yeah. What, you needed a break?
I was chatting to someone about this earlier. Like before this happened, I wouldn't say I fell out of love with it, but like I just weren't enjoying a lot of it. Like I was just kind of going there, playing, getting my dough and bouncing. Like I wasn't really partying much. Like it just got to the point where I was a bit like, But then I think this break's kind of made me realise the love that I've got for it and how much I'm looking forward to get back on the set. Do you know what I mean?
So yeah, thank you to everyone like joining. Gonna get into like a discussion interview with Dom. So how did everything kind of start for you? How did DJing start for you?
Well, my next door neighbour's a DJ. Well, was a DJ. So I had the love from like a young age, from like 8 years old. That was when I got my first like DJ equipment, and then from there, I kind of over the next couple of years after that, I just kept on with it. And then after that, I got a proper pair of decks, like CDs and that. And then got to about 13, 14. It was one of them ones, started playing football, all that shit. So it was like, I ain't got a love for it no more. Dropped it. Then around college times, going to house parties and that. No, year 11 actually.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Started going to house parties, and obviously I was always on the aux lead, innit? So
you were the trusted one.
Yeah, I was on the aux league, so I just had I had the sound, and then I was like, nah, I need to get back into DJing. I need to be able to mix all the tunes and that. So got some equipment and that, got a controller, started smacking it down at house parties, and just went from there really.
So what was your first gig?
Apart from the house parties, it was a 16 plus event, place called Talk Bar in Brum. And it was literally like £50 for like 6 hours or something like that. It was
dog shifts, man.
Graveyard shifts.
So from then on, how have you become to Dom Bryan? Like how has it come about? Like what's the journey from then?
Well, from there, I got into a couple places just through like mutual friends and acquaintances. And then, but other than that, I wasn't really getting many bookings or nothing. So I had a residency spot at Birmingham Uni every Saturday. How did that come about? I don't remember. No, that's it. I covered for someone. I remember I covered for someone and I smashed it. And then like the year after, they was like, "Oh, yo, do you want to become our resident?" Because the geezers left. So I was like, "Yeah, cool, I'll do that." So then from that, I'd done that, and then, but I weren't getting no like club bookings or nothing. So I became a promoter at a club to try and get my name out there, which did help. You know, it got my name out a little bit more, built my connections, and then I just kind of from then, you know, you get one booking, so I'd just do that, try smash that booking. I literally, every time I got a booking, I just played it like it was my last. I just done it so that I could impress as many people as I could. And lo and behold, I played at one bar, and I remember the manager from Bamboo was in there at the time. He heard me, he liked me. So then a booking in Bamboo come about, and then it just kind of just went from there, and so on and so on.
So who in the industry do you kind of look up to DJ wise?
it's kind of changed over the years, because I always feel like it's kind of like how your taste in music evolves, everything else does at the same time. So like starting out, you know, I was into like bassline and garage and that. So all my old idols were like EZ, Jamie Duggan, you know, DJ Q, TRC, them type of people. And then when I started house parties, it was all DJ Rusky. Like there was no other DJ. It was just DJ Rusky. That's the only guy I kind of knew and looked to. And then I remember I went to a party, one of my friends' party. It was his sister's 18th, and DJ Day was playing there. And he smacked it down. He's just literally just joined right now, Jordan. His sister's birthday, and Day was playing, and he absolutely smacked it down. And I remember just seeing like, yo, that is a vibe right there. And I remember I got in contact with Day through that. And we always just started speaking. But yeah, it was always like Rusky from early on, as it is with most, you know, new generation DJs. Because he had the brand, he had, you know, he just had a presence. You know, I look up to people like Westwood, Martin Too Smooth a lot for a lot of the things he does, you know, corporately. And just brand wise, he's sick. Andy Pernell, I look to. Obviously, technically, Scotty B. I think. Yeah,
Scotty B. Like technically.
The
thing is, I was just discussing it with Ironic just before. Like he was saying, he's just like so underrated.
Yeah, massively.
Definitely.
There's a lot of people I look up to, but I think right now I'm not really looking at anybody or anything like in particular. Like for example, I look up a lot to Silk. You get me? Like he's I consider him my boy, but I still look up to him. But I just focus on my own thing at the same time. Like I don't really focus on what anyone else is doing, really.
Definitely. So what kind of makes a Dom Bryan set unique? Why do people come to see you?
I don't know. You know, I just think
you don't know.
I don't know. I'm good at crowd reading. You know, I like making people happy in it. So like, I play to the crowd. My sets are quite intense. Like I'm not like a simple A to B type of DJ, like where you're just mixing intros and that. Like, bro, I'll play a song for 10 seconds. If that's the only good part of the song, I'll play that for 10 seconds. Then I'll go to the next song. You get me? And I'm not scared to take risk as well. One thing I like to do, I like to play songs that people think, fucking, I remember this one. Like, I ain't heard this in ages.
That was literally your live yesterday. Like,
yeah,
all of these tunes you're bringing out, that I was like, I haven't heard this in time.
Yeah, it's like, and that's the thing with like, not every main set you have to jump on and just play bare fresh shit. Like, fam, I can go to a club and I can throw down a drill set, but then I can go to another club and I can play Beyonce at 1:30. Like, and when it's full, do you know what I mean? It just depends on the crowd and, you know, the type of crowd you've got and all that stuff.
Definitely. What do you think makes a good DJ?
Like what, on a set or overall?
Just in your opinion, like overall, what do you think? Like it could be set, it could be like branding, it could be anything. Like, what do you think?
For me, branding.
Even answered this one.
Branding is up there massively. It sounds bad, but if a DJ's got bad branding, I won't take them seriously from the jump, because I think if you can't put effort into your branding, how can I trust you in anything else? So it's like, but yeah, branding and the ability to crowd read. I don't care if, you know, well, you shouldn't be clanging. Any club DJ shouldn't be clanging, but you can clang or you can be a crap mixer. But as long as you can drop tune after tune after tune, then I've got ratings for it. It's as simple as that.
Definitely. So what's your kind of, I'm gonna go jump straight into these discussion points. So what's your take on the DJ? So you're DJing on prime time, and I don't know if this has happened to you, but like the warm-up DJ isn't playing his part, like isn't doing his, like isn't playing his role. Like, what's your take on that? What do you kind of do? Do you step up to him going, what are you doing? Or do you just let him do his thing, carry on the night?
It depends, you know, if let's say it fits the night and I can see that he's building it nicely, then I'll let them do their thing, you get me? Because like I said, I don't play all the new shit when I jump on set. I'll go back to 2014 and play his tunes, but it just depends. If it matches the crowd, then do your thing, and as long as you're not taking the piss. But if you're just getting gassed because it's busy and you're just trying to drop bangers, I'll pull, man. I'll be like, bruv, don't take the piss.
No, DB was scrap them. I feel like you'd go up to them and be like, "What are you doing?" I don't even. I feel like you're trying to stay humble, yeah.
If I feel like they're taking the piss, I will let it, and I'll just be like, "Yo, chill, fam, chill. Don't, you know."
But like, you kind of restart the night anyway.
Say that again, sorry.
I said like you kind of restart the night anyway when you.
Yeah, exactly. It's a journey. So like, I see it like, or alternatively, say for example, I've played on sets where I know the DJ before me probably like may have a little ego trip, think, oh, I'm bigger than Don. I'm gonna do the hardest set, and I'll shout the promoter and I'll be like, listen, make sure he does his job, please, because for the benefit of the night and the club and making the night last long, everyone needs to play their part. The 10 till 11 set is just as important as the 1 till 2 set and the 3 till 4 set. It's all equally as important. Everyone's got a job here, man.
What's your take on celebrities or people from Love Island or these places going into DJ and classing themselves as a DJ if they don't actually learn the craft? What's your kind of take on that? Like, are you kind of like, why, like, is it like, are you kind of like, okay, do your thing because you're bringing in a crowd, or are you kind of like, why are you getting into our kind of DJ space?
If you've got love for music and you respect the craft, then yeah, go for it. But don't jump into it and start disrespecting it, if you know what I mean. Like, as long as you keep the respect, then yeah. And Sam Supreme, branding isn't more important than skill, but it's your first impression, isn't it? So I feel like it's like a handshake, and if I go up to a man and shake his hand and he's got all mud on his hand, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? And that's like with branding. If your branding looks like trash, I'm just gonna be like, who is this guy? So yeah, get your branding on job, because that's your first impression. That's like, you know, it's your CV. So get that on job so that I'm gonna pay more attention when I do listen to you. Do you know what I mean?
How do you kind of utilize like your social media and stuff to get your following? Like, how has that helped you? Like, is it more content you're posting? Is it DJ? Is it mixes? Like, how are you kind of keeping your followers active and keeping it active?
Just being myself, really. Mixes definitely help, 100%. Because, you know, there's been times when I've been out, for example, and someone be like, "Oi, Dom Bryan, like, yeah, I listen to your mixes," kind of thing. So that definitely helps growth. But with Instagram, just I try and put out as much content as I can, really.
Yeah.
But I don't force it. If I don't feel like I have something to put out and there isn't something there, I won't force it to put it out, because it's not generic. It's not genuine for me. Do you know what I mean? But other than that, yeah, just I'll try and keep relevant to the times, innit? Like, so I'll see what's happening, what's trending, and I'll try and not stick to the trends, but, you know, I'll try and utilize the gap at that time.
So someone said, how can a DJ improve their brand?
Look up to big companies. So not like, even look out of DJing. So like, say for example, there might be, I don't know, Apple, for example. Look at the way Apple market their trade. Do you know what I mean? Look at that. I'd say the 3 key things for branding is your logo. Your logo has to be quality. It's got to look professional. If your logo, like I've always had this saying, well, seen this saying, your logo is your silent ambassador for your brand. So it's like, it's the first thing people meet. Do you know what I mean? So your logo's got to look professional. Your mix artwork has got to look professional, because that's going to decide whether I want to listen to it or not. If I see a certain mix cover, I'm more likely to listen to something than if I see something that looks like it's been made on art. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Can I just say something? Sorry. For people asking questions, can you just put it in like the question thing so I don't need to scroll up? Thank you. But yeah, so someone said, if you were to start DJing all over again, what would you do differently?
I'd start making mixes earlier. I only joined Mixcloud 2 years ago. And it's, you know, it's at a sick level, don't get me wrong, like I'm getting a lot of players on it, but I feel like if I started making mixes, say 2 years prior, I could have built it a lot better, and I could, you know, could be better. But other than that, it is what it is. I've kind of, you know, I don't have any regrets. I've had a good start, and because I do consider myself at the start of my career.
Yeah. So, what's been the highlight for you so far?
Like one individual thing or just overall?
Well, something that's kind of stood out to you that's up there. Like it could be. I'll give you two. Give you two things. I'll give you two things.
Creating Nexus was up there because, you know, bringing like 200 people together under one roof from different cities, from your Nathan Dawes and Ruskies down to the starting level of DJs, was quite sick. That like proper made me proud.
Yeah.
And probably just going abroad to Napa for the first time. You know, that took a lot of balls to do, and it paid off really well.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ask back on those two things. So with your Nexus events, how did that all start? Like, did you just have the idea? It was like, I want to bring these DJs together and.
Yeah, I think I was in Napa with 40 at the time. I was just sat in the living room with him, and I was like, oh, I want to do an event where I can just bring all the DJs together under one roof and just, you know, like pattern up and all that. And then literally about 8 months after that, I finally started, you know, doing it, and I just put it together. And literally, it was planned and executed within 10 days. So from when I first put it out to when the event was, there was 10 days times. So that was literally just quite spontaneous. It's quite easy to put together as well. Just a few posters made, you know, and I made it really direct. So it wasn't a thing where I was just putting it on my story or like, you know, I was sending broadcasts. I was messaging DJs directly like, yo, I've got an event. I'd love for you to come down. I feel like this is what you can add to it, blah, 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 blah. And you know, that's it.
Is there going to be another Nexus event after quarantine?
Yeah, 100%. There was due to be one in April,
Okay.
but obviously because of quarantine, it obviously flopped it. But definitely gonna be one, 100%.
So with your Napa seasons, like did you go over there like yourself and just find the gigs first of all, and then it kind of happened from then, or how did it all happen?
Long story short, on Facebook, I saw an ad for a residency over there.
Yeah.
From Kieran J, because Kieran J was going to Marbella, and I think the bar he was DJing at, obviously he was no longer going to be there, so he was saying, I need a DJ. He kind of put me through to the owner, so I messaged the owner, never got a response, and then 6 months later, in May, I got a response saying, like asking a few questions. Then the day later, it was like, yeah, I mean, like, you know, I like how you sounding.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So he's like, how soon can you get out here? And I was like, whenever, but my passport wasn't in date at the time. And he was like, oh, well, the bar opens on Monday. So I was like, I'm not missing this opportunity, like, for someone else to step in. So literally got my passport like 3 days later because I had to do the emergency thing. Done some quick clothes shopping, and then that was it. As like,
just went out there and that was it.
Just gone, bro.
What was like the highlight in Napa for you? What was it? Boat parties? Was it club ice? Like what
in the first year?
Yeah.
It was definitely like club ice because I DJ'd with a lot of artists. Well, like for the artists as well. So like Jay Huss, I DJ'd for Chip. Bro, there's that many I actually can't remember.
So I'm gonna ask you this: would you rather be an artist DJ or a DJ that DJs at a club, but then an artist turns up and you DJ for that artist who turns up?
I wouldn't want to be an artist DJ, no. How
comes?
Because I feel like your light gets shined out a bit by them kind of thing, and it's. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. It's lit. It is lit being an artist DJ because I've done it. I've DJed for quite a few artists, but at the same time, I feel like it's a bit difficult to focus on your own thing because your schedules might clash and that. Like, you might have a plan to do this, but then all of a sudden that artist might want to do a tour, and it's like your plans are then out the window because you've got to commit to that then. But
Definitely.
I would love to do it one day, but just not yet.
How long was it until you got your first DJ gig?
From probably about, from when I very, very first started, it was probably about 6 months. Because I was doing house parties. I'd done like 4 or 5 house parties. And then someone from the house party then connected me with a promoter, and the promoter booked me, kind of thing. So yeah, about 6 months.
So what kind of genres do you make? Like, what's your main genre? Or would you say you're kind of versatile, multi-genre? Or
Yeah, mad versatile. Like, you know, I can play house, garage, bassline, R&B, hip hop. Last night, you know, slow jams.
what's your preferred genre?
Hip hop.
Preferred artist?
J. Cole.
J. Cole.
Yeah.
Do you kind of prefer like the old J. Cole?
Nah, you know, all J. Cole. Like,
yeah.
If anything, I'm not really as much of a fan of his early stuff because it's a bit softer.
Okay.
You know, it's a bit more commercial, but the new stuff's like really like conscious hip hop. Do you know what I mean? So I'm all for that. I love rapping it.
What do you look for in a promoter to choose their venue over someone else who booked you at the same time?
Let me read that. What do you look for in a promoter to choose their venue? Huh?
I don't really get that one either.
What do you look for in a promoter to choose their venue over someone else?
Like, maybe just like what?
Oh, so like, do you mean like if I've been booked by 2 places and how do I choose?
What? Yeah.
Is that what you mean? I don't know.
Maybe. Say if someone tried to double book you.
If that's the case, whoever booked me first, really.
So you're
of
like
course,
first come, first serve.
Yeah, if it's a better opportunity, and it benefits me more, then I'll obviously go for the better one. But I'll be transparent with the promoter. I won't gas it and be like, oh, you know, I'll just tell them the truth. And I feel like transparency in this game is important because, you know, I've got good relationships with a lot of promoters based on transparency, based on me being honest with them. Like for example, Jordan Valleys. I've like, you know, got a great friendship with him. At first, the first time he booked me, I completely fucked up the booking. Like, I messed it up, and he was fuming. Like, we'll go into that. He was fuming, and I was thinking I'm never going to play for him again. But because I was honest, and I put my hands up and was like, "Yo, I messed up," blah 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 blah. You know, and then for example, this summer now, he was booking me all summer in Marbella. So it's like, you know, when the time is right, it will be right.
It will happen.
Know what I mean?
So what actually happened with that booking?
So it was a bank holiday. I had 4 sets. Went to the first 2, fine. And I was driving as well, so I wasn't drinking. Yeah. And then I went to the second one at Bamboo, and I had a drink. And long story short, someone spiked me, bro. I had 1 drink. Someone spiked me. I went over to Etiquette to play for Jordan's event. Yeah. Bro, I don't remember anything. Like, I literally just remember passing out on the decks, like, and someone else had to jump on and DJ. Like,
oh my god, that must have been mad. Like, you come back from that, which is good though. I mean, you come back from that.
And the thing is, as well, like, because it was Mayfair Sessions, which is like a big brand, I was like, mate, I have messed this up. Like, because the thing is, Jordan, I was recommended to Jordan, so like, he didn't actually book me. He's come to the club and was like, you know, who's like a popping DJ in Brum, and they put me on. There was like DOM Bryan, and then so they put all their trust in me for this big promoter. Yeah. You know, venue sold out, tables sold out, got, you know, good clientele, and I've just gone in there and messed it up. And mate, I remember feeling depressed, mate. I woke up the morning after like, what have I done? Like,
what do you kind of take from that experience? That you kind of like don't drink, but then again you're drinking for
nah,
fun,
mate,
but like
I get waved every set, bro. Always, I get waved at every set. But that was a one-off. Someone spoiled my drink. It wouldn't happen again.
How are you on the mic? Like, are you quite a good host on the mic, or would you rather have a host with you?
I think I'm a good host. Because I know what I'm about to do. Like, you know, I'd like to do a bit of like wordplay and that, and get people involved in the crowd, talk to them, make them talk back to me, and then I'll drop a tune kind of thing. Or like I said, I'll play a song for 10 seconds, bring it out, talk, drop another one straight in kind of thing. Yeah, I do prefer myself hosting than other hosts because, like I said, I know what I'm doing better than they do in terms of the set. I know what's coming up. Because they can't keep looking at the laptop to see what I'm about to play and all that. But if it's a really, really proper host, like for example Missing Link, I'd choose working with Missing Link over me hosting any day. There's a guy called Ruel Elijah from Wales, who I've worked with, who's a great host. But yeah, man. Other than that,
do you kind of have to have a quick drink before you get on a mic, or you can just do it without drinking?
It depends, you know. If the vibe's there, then the vibe can get me drunk. Like for example, when I jumped on live yesterday, because I was playing music that I love, it got me waved before I got waved. So I didn't touch my first drink until I jumped on live. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of built. But yeah, mostly I like to drink like an hour or two before I jump on set.
So someone said, do you think managers should be a friend or strictly business? Do you mean manager of club or manager of DJ?
I presume he's on about manager. Oh, I don't know actually. I'll answer both, innit? So I think you can. In terms of managers of clubs and events, I think you can become, you know, good friends with them. But always remember, when it comes to the business, it is always business. Like, don't ever be afraid to say something to them because you've got a close relationship with them, or don't be afraid because you haven't got a close relationship. But in terms of a manager for you, I feel like yes, you can have friends as a manager as long as they've got experience and they know what they're doing. Not necessarily even experience, like as long as they, you know, they're smart with what they do. Because I see some people make their friend their manager, like just because it's their friend, and it's like you ain't got a clue. Like
the manager don't even have it. What manager?
Literally, you'll just argue kind of thing, and I see it a lot. They'll put a friend as a manager, and 6 months later they got someone else. So it's like, nah.
Advice on improving mic work skills.
Practice. Put on a mix and talk over the mix in your head, or like, you know, under your breath kind of thing. Listen to a lot of hosts, you know, because at the end of the day, there's nothing better than learning from someone who's already good at it. So listen to what people are doing, and always work on clarity. Try as much as you can. Try and get as much clarity in your voice as possible, because you get people that are like, say this is the mic, you get people holding the mic like this, like covering the mic like yeah, but it's like, no bro, like don't be afraid to hold the mic like that, you get me, and just you know, just like talk. Do
you kind of use your lives to practice it?
Well, I was hosting before the lives, to be fair, but the lives have definitely helped. Because, you know, you're engaging with an audience that you can't see, so you're really having to try and engage with the clarity within your voice to you know, to get there. But yeah, man, just keep practicing.
So I'm gonna ask this: what does music kind of mean to you? Like, has it got you through hard times, or has it kind of been?
Yeah, man. I think music. I couldn't live without music, bro. I couldn't. Like, there's some days where I'll wake up and I'll just have I'll feel it, like, you know, like when you get a sweet tooth and you have to go and get a dessert, like I have that with music. So like I'll have a desire to hear a certain type of music. Like some days it might be J. Cole, some days it might be, I don't know, some drill music. Do you know what I mean? Like I just love all music from top to bottom.
So someone's asked, what's the best thing to use for graphic design?
Photoshop, I guess. I don't use Photoshop. I use Canva, simply because I used it from early, kind of got good at it, and now I just think I can do the job well.
Yeah.
But definitely Photoshop because it unlocks the most things. But other than that, yeah.
Have you ever wanted to go down like the production route and like
Um,
maybe enhance your sets as well with different mashups and stuff like that?
yeah, I definitely want to go into producing, because I feel like I've got a lot of ideas in my head that deserve to be put out to the world, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But only when I feel the time's right. But I don't think I'd do hip hop. If I was to do hip hop, it would be like Party Next Door type of beats and all that. But other than that, I think it would be more like down the not Calvin Harris, but just a bit more commercial, like
Yeah.
kind of like Ed Sheeran type of sounds. Like that's what I'd produce if it was me.
So what's your top 3 artists at the moment?
Based on activity.
Just based like who you listen to, who you think's popping at the moment, like who do you think's putting the most work?
Out of who I listen to, it's J. Cole, Drake, and Party Next Door.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of activity, who I think's at the top, I think it's Drake, Tory Lanez. And like even madly enough, because he's not around, but Pop Smoke. I think it's Drake, Tory Lanez, and Pop Smoke. I think them
That
three.
like
them
that was
music-
crazy. His death was crazy. Like
Yeah,
he popped. He like what blew in 4-5 months.
literally.
Like something like that. Like Welcome to the Party came out in March last year, and then it came over here in like what, June, July.
Later than that, I think. A little later than that. Yeah.
But still, it's crazy how things happen. But
I
I mean, stuff like that happens, right?
Yeah, man. Everything happens for a reason. Whether we be,
you think it was a reason though, like his death?
What, like, do I think it was planned?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Because it's one of them ones like they're saying about how his address got leaked and what's not.
Yeah.
If that's the case, even if you live, like, say, because obviously he's from New York, but he was in like LA or whatever. Even if you're in LA, someone can get your address in New York who you've got beef with, and can make a call to LA and be like, "Yo, this is my man's address. Here's X amount of money. Go do it." Because they didn't take nothing, so that's what makes me think it was planned.
Yeah, definitely. What is something that bugs you about the DJ scene?
Politics. Like certain venues having issues with each other and trying to use the DJ as the rope, the tug of war kind of thing. That pisses me off. What else? The way, not so much the scene, but what pisses me off about DJs is the way a lot of them compete with each other.
Yeah.
I think to myself, like, yo, just do your thing, man. Don't watch anyone else, because you start watching someone else and it's gonna start affecting your thing, you know what I mean? So just
the thing
just
is, there's always gonna be like in any industry, there's always gonna be people who are copying, kind of not copying, but like like that. You get me? So like, it's like some things where you're like, do your own thing, like
I definitely, I think there's nothing wrong with being inspired, like being inspired as much as you want. But I think as for copying, you know that cringy saying, like, you can steal the recipe but the sauce won't taste the same. And that's it's not saying don't copy people's recipes, it's just saying create your own in it, because it in long term it will benefit you even more in it.
Definitely. What countries have kind of not shown you like the most love, but you've been like, the crowd were like insane here?
I recently did a set in Bulgaria that was sick.
Bulgaria, okay.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in Bulgaria?
Plovdiv or something, I think it's called. And because it was like English music and like American hip hop, they just loved it. They just so loved from start to finish.
Marbella or Napa?
Napa.
Napa, really?
The lifestyle is just crazy, man. Like you can just wake up, get in the shower, jump on your quad bike, go to a beach, have breakfast on the beach, then go on your quad, fly to a pool, go to a water park or something, and then it's not as bougie in terms of the nightlife. So like, for example, like Club Ice, like for me, when it's popping, no club comes close to it in the world. Like the atmosphere is crazy. It's like a giant arena in it. So it's like when it goes off, it goes off. Whereas Marbella, it's more of a flashy lifestyle kind of thing. Like you're walking down the strip and there's Lambos going past you, fam. Like
literally by the harbour, literally you're just
mad.
seeing all these cars like parked up and everything.
Literally.
Have you had any problems like DJing for the artists or anything like that?
Never, I think I've always been like prepared kind of thing. The worst thing I've done is like an artist say, "Oh, if you got this tune," and I haven't. But that's like I haven't. It wasn't anticipated. I was DJing for them. Like I was just there and they just jumped on the set kind of thing. But other than that, never really had no issues now.
If you could be stuck in 1 year's music scene, which year would it be?
I'm trying to think. I only know what I've played myself in it. I would have loved to have been a DJ when tunes like Hit 'Em Up were popping and that, like Tupac back then.
Summer 16. Nah, I think.
Nah, Summer 16 wasn't really like.
2014 was actually got the most hits though. Like you got Bobby Shmurda, you got Fetty Wap, you got all of these. Like it was like everyone said the Mustard's like era.
Yeah. Summer 16 was good, but as a DJ, it wasn't like there was more like soft music out there. Yeah. Like it was like Rihanna Work and that. But from my experience, the best year for music in terms of club hits was probably 20. Now, you know what? It actually might be not summer 2016, the end of 2016 going into 2017 because it was tunes
what songs dropped?
Like Done Talking, Robbery Remix, Abracadabra, C-Biz, The Game's Mine, all them types of tunes.
Those pop off in a club, man. Like C-Biz.
Yeah, differently. C-Biz was crazy, bro.
Have you ever had to lock off the tune? Like, has the promoter ever come to you, or like because of like artist beef, or has a promoter come to you going like you need to tone it down?
I've had a couple occasions when like Gigs has been in the club and no, not Gigs. No, sorry. I've been in a situation where a rival club had booked Gigs on that night, and the club said to me, "Don't play no Gigs" or something like that. But then there's been a couple of occasions when like there's been mandem in the club and their team with certain man and they'll come up like, "Nah, don't play this" or whatever, and I'll be like, "Listen, I'm playing."
What's your take on that? Like, I don't like personally, I wouldn't care what they got to say because we're the DJs in that sense.
I definitely wouldn't care if it was me. There's men who don't care, like Kojo Funds don't care. Like I've been in a club and Kojo Funds has been there, and like his vibe into J Hus, did you see? Yeah, I just think let the DJ do his thing, man. Because everyone, people in the crowd want to hear it as well. It's not just you in your section. But so it's one of them ones like if you can ask me, and if you're cool, I might not play that artist again.
Yeah.
But if you try come on like on an attitude thing, then one, I'm not gonna stop it for you, and two, it's just gonna get long in the club between us.
Definitely. In the next 5 years, where do you kind of see yourself, and like what do you want to achieve? Are there like countries you want to DJ in still?
I want to DJ in Dubai for sure, just because that's kind of it's just up there. Yeah. I want to DJ in America. That's like I feel like that's like the holy grail for me. If I touch America, I feel like I've completed a big achievement. And I want to get on radio. That's what I want to do.
What radio kind of looking at?
Oh, one extra, bro.
One extra. You're not a Capital Extra boy. Like I'm a Capital Extra person, Westwood, man.
Yeah, I think that's why I wouldn't. I want to do Capital because Westwood's the king, man. It's like
You don't want to touch that. You don't want to touch that scene.
Can't beef with Westwood, man.
But what is it about One Extra?
He's got his thing set, but with One Extra, I feel like, you know, there's something different that man could bring.
What's that different? What's the thing you're thinking of that you can bring?
Just the versatility, really. You know, the ability to go from the maddest house tune that's just dropped right up to the freshest hip hop tune, right? Be able to take it all the way back to you know, some 90s hip hop, but then also being in touch with the current music and what's coming out at the time. Do you know what I mean?
How do you kind of deal with requests and stuff in a club? Like,
if it's a good request, I'll play it. If it's a good request, I'll play it.
What if someone's like, "It's my friend's birthday. Can you play this song?"
Go on, leave. Bye.
I'm leaving in 2 minutes. I'm leaving in 2 minutes. Can you play this song?
You've got to be polite. If you're not polite, then I definitely won't play it. I can't stand when girls come up and they're like, "Oh, play Drake." And I'm like, no. You know what the worst thing is? When you play a Drake song like 2 songs ago and someone says play Drake, and it's like, bro, what's wrong with you? I just, you know.
No, I've had one where I'm playing hip hop and they're like, "Can you play hip hop?" Or like, but they mean like commercial, but I'm like, I'm playing commercial hip hop, but they don't know what the thing is, there's like mix-ups between what's commercial, what's hip hop, what's it like? Because the radio plays everything. But the thing is, the radio plays everything, so like you kind of people think Drake is pop, but I wouldn't say Drake is pop at all.
No, it's definitely become more commercialized over the years, because now you're getting, you know, posh girls called Sally listening to drill music in their Fiat 500 every day. Do you know what I mean?
So the Fiat 500.
So it's like, but before, if you touch that music that was that heavy in the clubs before, the promoter would be like, "Oh, play to the girls." But this is what the girls want now. Like, you've seen girls do gun fingers and that, bro. Like, it's so mad.
But, it's dangerous. It's dangerous, man. How you like? What's your song you're throwing down? Like, let's say the girls are all dancing, everyone's kind of dancing, and man, them are up as well. What's the song you're throwing? And it's like an urban crowd.
I'll probably throw in 21 Questions by 50 Cent, just randomly. Like,
just randomly.
I could be playing, like, I don't know, like The Baby or something, and then I'll just throw in, you'll hear da, 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 and everyone's just like, "Oh." That, or I love playing Tupac, Hit 'Em Up, because everyone loves that. So like, I always scratch it in on that. First off, fuck your bitch in the clip. Instant wheel up. I've never played that song and not wheeled it up. Never.
How many wheel ups have you had on a song? Like live, DJ and live.
Probably on Instagram Live the other day.
No, not Instagram. Like in a club. How many wheel ups?
Let me think. Probably No Diet.
No Diet, really?
Yeah, there was.
How many wheel ups have you done?
That was probably like 8.
8.
Because Russ was performing. This was in black and white in Napa.
Okay.
And he come on early because he had to get off to catch his flight. So he jumped on, like, the club opens at 2 and he jumped on at 3. So the club's ran, he's performed, but there's still 3 more hours until the club closes, bro. Yeah. So he's got it all hype, and I was like, bro, I'm just going to have to go in as soon as he jumps off. And obviously I played No Diet as soon as he'd come off, and the crowd just went crazy, bro. And he was just going back constantly. And it was getting more intense every drop as well.
Yeah. So let's say you're doing an event, 5 DJs you're putting on the lineup and 5 artists?
And like any DJs,
any DJs, any right artists.
Now. UK or American as well.
Any.
Okay, first, let's say I'm doing a festival. Going Drake.
Festival, yeah.
Of course. Drake, Stormzy, Tory Lanez. Fucking hell. Oh, bro, this question's hard, man. Drake, Stormzy, Tory Lanez.
That's free. What, Party Next Door?
I'm just trying to think like what will be turn. Party Next Door, come on, and people are going to be making
Lil
it up
Baby,
or
you know.
counting.
Gigs, yeah, Gigs as well.
Little Baby, Tory Lanez, Drake, Stormzy, Little Baby, and I don't know, probably someone like D Block. They're good performers, man.
Yeah. So I said Pop Smoke, yeah, but he's not alive.
Yeah,
but...
it's not, you know. It's not
we could get the hologram. We could do the hologram.
He would have been. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. And then 5 DJs.
Silk, Mexi, EZ. Maybe Khaled, yeah, Khaled. And
Put it on the spot.
I don't know, maybe like Martin Too Smooth to like host like the whole entirety kind of thing.
That's a good festival there. I'm coming to that festival. How are you the kind of like with the up and coming DJs, like do you kind of look out for them or do you kind of stick with your people?
Nah, I try and help as many people as I can. The problem is with me, bro, like I'm not in my head, I'm not a full-time DJ. Like although I do, like DJing is full-time for me. Well, it was. Sometimes, like when I put my phone down, I'm back to Dom. You get me? Like I'm not Dom Bryan. I'm just Dom. Do you know what I mean? So like sometimes I'll drift out of the zone, and people might hit me up when I'm not in the zone, and I'll forget to reply or I'll message them, and then like I might not follow through. But that's not like I don't do it on purpose. But I try and help people as much as I can. That's why I did Nexus at the end of the day. Like, and I think it shows in the fact that I've done it for free. Like. I lost money on that event to put it on. Well, I've done 2 and I've lost money both times, but that's just on expenses. I knew I wasn't making any money from it, kind of thing.
But it's helped you with exposure and like just in general.
And it's helped. It's helped other people as well. Like for example, DJ Das from his up and coming, he met someone like a promoter, and that promoter, like I was speaking to him the other day, and he was like, "Listen, I met Das through Nexus, and I booked him through that kind of thing." So it helps other people as well. But yeah, I try and help as many people as I can, like as possible. Like if a DJ asks me for something, like for a song, I'll send them the song, no qualms. If they ask me advice, I'll try and, even though I've probably told it to about 50 other DJs as well, I'll take the time to say it again to them because everyone's different, innit?
Definitely. So what's your, obviously like DJs like prime time, but what is your ideal set? Are you like the calm down, slow down period, or are you the warm up?
Obviously, if the crowd's right, I love a main set because I just love breaking it down. But
let's say the crowd's are, let's say that it's 90% capacity at like 10 o'clock. Let's just say, like for instance, like would you take a warm up set or would you still be prime time?
Nah, I'd still do the prime. But I enjoy playing the late set the most, definitely.
Yeah.
As last night it showed.
And when's the next live for you?
Sunday after hours.
So you're not doing any like early evening ones?
Nah, I'm done with the turn up now. Straight after hours now.
It's after hours.
Yeah, it's after hours, man.
So what do you think? I'm gonna ask you this. Like obviously, so Silk, right? He's gained what 6,000 followers in the last like 6 weeks from doing the lives, right? Do you think that social media and all these different platforms have helped people, like help DJs to get up there more, or do you think before when they started it was actually easier to pave the way for themselves as like the game wasn't oversaturated?
Westwood said something once which is bang on, which answers your question. He said before it was harder to break out. It was because there wasn't as much opportunity and it wasn't as accessible. But once you broke out, you were out there.
Yeah.
Like that was it then. Like there was less around you, so you was on a real pedestal. But now he says it's a lot easier to get out there. There's a lot more ways to get your name out there. But once you're kind of up there a bit more, because there's so much going on, you've got to do a lot more to keep your name buzzing and, you know, keep climbing kind of thing. So yeah, like that.
But bro, like, I appreciate your time. I appreciate this.
Okay.
Like, I appreciate everyone locking in as well. So like this week I've got heap of interviews. So I've got Nathan Dorr. I've got loads of people coming up. So if you want to give me a follow, give me a follow. But yeah, Dom, appreciate it.
Come on, my bro.
I know you're still hungover from last night.
Come on, fam.
But yeah, man. Hope you have a blessed one as well. Yeah.
Respect, brother. Thank you, man.
All right, everyone, take care. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, bro. See you.
Brother.